YouTube, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be doing a boxing tier list based on YouTuber boxers, but also like some of the TikTok dudes that were in the last TikTok event. I saw KSI do this. It had a lot of views. I know he's a big creator, whatever, but I was like, that's a good idea. So shout out KSI for the idea. But yeah, we're going to be basically ranking YouTuber, TikTokers, whatever on a tier list. I mean, there's not much more to it that I need to explain. So I didn't actually make this tier list, but we got an S tier, an A tier, a B tier, a C, a D, an E, and an F tier. Here are the people that will be on it. A couple of these people at the end, I don't even know who they are, so I've saved them to the end, hoping I remember their names. But actually, to start off the tier list, here we have Fidel Riley. If you don't know, he's like a 4-0 cruiserweight. I haven't followed his career too much, but I've seen I think I saw one of his last fights. Very good, very technical boxer. He's not like he makes YouTube, but he's like a true boxer before YouTube. So I'd put him in S, but I wouldn't be able to put anyone else. So I'm just bringing him down here. We're taking him off the list. I didn't make this one, so yeah. Next up? I think who is that? I think that's the Wasabi guy, the guy that got knocked out by Fouseytube. I mean, he's got to go F. If you get knocked out by Fousey or knocked down by Fousey, I don't know what happened in that spar. I just heard about it. You gotta go there. I never even watched that spar. But next up, we have Enisan Gib. And if we're looking at his last fight, he looked absolutely amazing with his ring gentlemanship. I made a video on that one and why it wasn't a draw. Ended up getting overturned, but I'll link it up. In the eye over here. I'll put it up there in the eye so you guys can take a look at that if you wish to. But Gib, I mean, he dominated that fight, pretty much won every round. He might have lost one. I don't remember what I had it on my card, but I know he dominated it. And Holder was a very technical boxer. So I mean, I don't know. I would say Gib's A and B. Since he lost to Jake, that hurts him and makes me want to put him in B. But I think we'll put him in A for now. If somehow I change my mind, whatever, we'll bring him back down. Next up we have Austin McBroom. He looked pretty good, but he fought Bryce Hall. I did watch that fight. He looked pretty technical. He was actually switching stances, which I was impressed to see. It's actually kind of rare in boxing. Not a ton of pros actually switch stances the way he actually was. His footwork was actually pretty good. Pretty sure he used to be a basketball player. I chuck him in B tier. He's not. I don't think he's A yet. He only has one fight. I think KSI would beat him pretty easily, but he looked like he had some decent natural skill. Next up we have Mr. I'm not a fighter, I am a fighter, whatever. I'm gonna put him in E, not F, because I think he would batter Wasabi. I don't know if batter's the right word, but he'd beat him. He just was not very good at all. That is Bryce Hall, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Alright, next up, I'm pretty sure this is DDG. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. I did not watch that fight. There was I saw the highlights of it. He looked fairly technical, but didn't look too good. He looked like he kind of tired. I don't know, maybe B, but I'm going to chuck him in C. I really didn't watch that fight enough to really tell, but I think C's a fair spot for him. I don't think he's D below, but I don't think he's B and above. So I think C is pretty average. Yeah, but next up now, this is an interesting one. We have Deji. If we are talking just skill and no cardio, Deji's B to A. I think he has fairly good skill. First round against the hacker, he looked pretty good. But after that, his cardio failed him, and for that reason, I think he would beat Bryce Hall. I don't think he'd beat DDG. I think D tier. I like genuinely, because of the cardio. If the cardio is fixed, he's C to B. Because I feel like Deji could be really good, especially if he was able to weaponize his cardio, like his brother kind of does. But yeah, I think D is where he is right now after the hacker just defeat. But next up we have Mr. FaZe Jarvis. I don't know if he's still a part of FaZe. There's some controversy with him scamming people, but yeah, Mr. FaZe Jarvis. He actually looked really good in his fight against where is he? I think he's on here. He's down here somewhere. I missed him. He might not be on here, but he's somewhere. Oh, this guy. He did pretty good against this guy. I don't remember the guy's name. This guy was pretty bad. But Jarvis looked really good. He had the cleanest KO on the card. It wasn't like a clean knockout, but was a good shot. I'd put him in B. I think he's honestly, I think he's better than McBroom. And I think the way he seems to be training, looking at like the documentary they did, what man's vibing at the Mayweather gym. I mean, he looked good though. A little pretty sloppy, I guess, but I think he actually. I mean, these two would have to be judged pure technique. I don't know. I think Jarvis would, if they were the same weight, obviously. I don't know how close they are in weight, but these two were the same weight. I think Jarvis might edge him out. And yeah, obviously these are pound for pound, essentially pound for pound rankings. So if you don't know what that is, essentially everyone same weight, kind of like that. If everyone was the same weight, who would be the best? Next up, we got Face Sensei, my guy. I really like Face Sensei. He's an A tier. He hasn't fought anyone good enough to make him S, but he's for sure A. He might be B. He just hasn't been very active. And I mean, if we're actually, I might take him top tier B. I think he'd beat everyone else in the B tier, but I don't know if he'd actually beat Gib. And also, we haven't seen enough from him. That might be why. Because if KSI is coming up, I don't know if I'm gonna judge him for inactivity. But yeah, next up we have Fouseytube. I mean, I very much dislike Fousey. He's so annoying. Doesn't know anything about boxing. Acts like he does. Makes me very angry. Just very disrespectful. It's supposed to be an unbiased point of view. He's just an idiot, and I really don't like him. Next up, we got Jake Paul. I don't even want to talk about it. Jake is S tier. Genuinely. We judge him on his boxing skill. An interesting thing about Jake, he has power going backwards, which is a very advanced thing for many boxers. In the Nate Robinson fight, he showed that. In the Ben Askren fight, I looked back at it the other day. It didn't look amazing. Like, I don't know. His overhand right seemed a little. It was more of an. I don't know. I want to see more straight punches from Jake, not looping shots, because when he's fighting Woodley throws pretty sloppy or looping shots, but straight punches always beat looping shots. And if Jake can straighten out his shots even more, he'll be even better. I think when he fought Gib, his shots were pretty straight, but the shots that put down Nate and Ben didn't seem to be too straight. So we'll see. Next up, we got KSI. He's for sure top tier A. I don't know. Boys, I am a genuine KSI fan. Like, genuinely, I am avid. I watch his content, all that. But I genuinely believe that Jake Paul would beat him in a fight. Like genuinely. And I hate saying that. I know I'm gonna get hate for that too. But I just, not even based on inactivity at this point, I just don't think he's good. I think his heart won him the Logan Paul fight, and the Logan Paul fight was extremely close. I would have had Logan Paul winning that if it weren't for those points taken away. I don't know. He's an interesting addition to this list, because I don't feel like we haven't seen good technique from him. No good technique from KSI. I think he's better than Gib, but he needs to perfect his technique, because he's not a good boxer. I genuinely believe his heart won him that fight. Obviously, having heart, being a fighter, he's more of a fighter than probably everyone on this list. In a mentality, in his heart, but Sensei also. But next up, we got, I want to say it's like JMX or something. I think that's his name. I'm pretty sure like an MMA fight too, which, I don't know if he actually did, but I heard he did. There's some guy, maybe it's like Jamie, but he's a rapper, I don't know. But JMX, I remember watching him on the KSI Logan 1 card, and he actually looked pretty good. He looked like he had good technique. I'll chuck him in B. I don't know too much about the guy, but he seemed pretty decent. His technique seemed pretty good, though. His shoulder had some weird, stuff on it, but yeah. Next up, we got Joe Weller. I think Joe Weller's a solid D tier guy. I think he right now is better than Deji if Deji's cardio is the same. Yeah, I think he is better than Deji, pound for pound, obviously. Same weight. Yeah, I think D tier is a pretty good spot for him. Next up, we got, what's this guy's name? I thought I got rid of all the guys I don't know. Oh, that's the McBroom's that's McBroom's brother. I didn't even watch his fight. I don't know where to rank him. We'll chuck him in E. I don't know if he did good. I don't even know. I didn't watch it. Next up, we got Logan Paul. Logan Paul, A tier. I mean, I guess since he technically did lose to KSI, I'll put him back there. But KSI, he's a better boxer than KSI. But when we look at the Mayweather fight, there was a flurry where he looked so sloppy. You know, I obviously would be interested in seeing KSI Logan Paul 3. I think it's just a cool it'd be a cool trilogy match to make. I mean, if Logan and Gib were the same weight, that'd actually kind of be interesting. I think Logan would win, but I think it'd be an interesting fight. Next up, we got this guy. What? It's like Lee. I think his name's Lee. He looks very annoying, very punchable. I don't like the guy. Just his face looks annoying. Actually, no. We'll put him in E because if we had Jarvis at B, he's got to at least be an E tier fighter. If he's at F, Jarvis drops down to C. You know what? Now that I'm looking at DDG, I feel like he could be lower end B. We'll keep him at C. Next up, we got, this is Raka Raka, I'm pretty sure. He actually, I mean, he beat up Scarce, so it was kind of like, eh. Well, I mean, C, pretty average. Scarce was terrible, but he lost a lot of weight for that fight, so congrats to him on that. That's very cool. Good thing to do. Boxing, great card, you know. Next up, this is Hacker. This is Vinny Hacker. And I mean, we can't put him below Deji, although he's less talented than Deji in boxing. I don't think he's ever gonna fight again, so there's no point. But I would put him in C. Yeah, I'd put him in C. I think Raka Raka would beat him. You know, Raka Raka, that could be a cool fight. Raka Raka versus Hacker, that actually could be a cool fight. But yeah, I think he's lower end C tier fighter. I just don't know how good he is. Same with Deji Raka Raka, that could be interesting. Yeah. Okay, next up, Holder. That's it, Holder. He, once again, I made that video on him and Gib. Very good technique, very solid technique-wise. He just did not pull the trigger. And, I mean, I think the lights got to him. I think he's better than DDG. I think he's a C-tier fighter, maybe B. Going into that event, I thought he was A, just from the way people talked about him. It led me to believe he was an A-tier fighter. But, after that, he could be a low-tier B. You know, we'll give him the benefit of that. We'll chuck him low-tier B. And then, what? Fidel, I know. I mean, I guess we'll chuck up Fidel, but Fidel would beat Jake Paul easily. I think he would easily dominate Jake Paul. Probably win by KO. Okay. Now, these guys, I don't know what their names are. I think this guy fought... Yeah, I don't know. Essentially, this is pretty much my tier list. We have Fidel Riley, Jake Paul as S-tier fighters. Bottom tier, Wasabi, Scarce, KSI, making up the top half, or making up the top part of the A tier, and then Sensei, JMX, you know, Jarvis, even Holder here at B. Deji down at D tier, and a couple of good E tier guys. Just E tier guys. And then, I mean, these guys, they didn't seem very good, so we'll just say they're all E tier because I don't know their names. Yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this one. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know if you disagreed with this. These tier list videos always tend to get a good amount of hate just because people hate that their opinion doesn't match up with mine. But yeah, if you're a TikTok stan coming here to be like, oh, Taylor Holder, whatever, I don't even know what to say. Just don't be a TikTok stan. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you can, if you out of the kindness of your heart, you drop a like on this one. It is greatly appreciated. You can also always subscribe, and if you end up being annoyed by me, you can unsubscribe. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. We're on the road to 1,000. That's like my goal for this year, and yeah, I will see you guys next time.